Okay, so today I'm out at the Learning Garden. That's the Learning Garden at Tom Green Park. It's a community teaching garden that the organization that I'm the executive director of runs. And I was out at the farm this morning and had the chance to do some work out there, but decided to do my video out here today because I wanted to show you a little bit about what we're doing today. Pretty much everybody that's in the garden, this is what everybody's doing today. We had some nice rain, kind of nice steady showers, kind of intermittently throughout the day, all day, and kind of a little bit of yesterday even. And so what that's done is that's just moistened our soil enough to where it's not mucky and muddy, which is something we deal with the black clay, black soil that we deal with down here. And so I am doing more raised row preparing. And this is the way I do that, and I've talked about it a bunch of times, but so the way I do it is, and I think some people might call this double digging, I don't really know, but I turn the footpath and then I push the soil up on the footpath. So you can see that here I'm just going to pull out all the green too, of course, as I go through here and kind of break this up. Make sure this is really soft. So I basically hand till it, break it up, and then I'll take a shovel and just pull this stuff up and throw it soft up here on the top of the row. And that's basically creating my raised row. You can see over here, that's exactly what we've done. That's pretty much what we're doing all over the garden. And then you can see what I'm doing is creating a footpath that's also a swale. A swale is basically a hole in the ground that collects water. And we fill that swale then up with heavy mulch, and that helps to create kind of a sponge effect and hold some moisture in the soil. Does lots of other things too, like helping to bring the fungi, so that we have fungi and bacteria both working together for the best vegetable production plants. So anyways, that's part of the reason why we bring that soil in. With the heavy clay that we deal with here, we've also got sand. When I've got any kind of cardboard or paper material, you can put that down. Sometimes I do. It's kind of, depends on how lazy I'm being, really. It helps with some weed suppression. It's not going to help keep Bermuda grass out of things. The easiest way to deal with Bermuda grass, in my opinion, is heavy mulch, because it's so much easier to pull Bermuda grass out of heavy mulch. So that's how I think we should deal with most of those types of weeds. And so then we put the cardboard down, then we put the sand up on top of that. That just helps to make the soil softer as we build up more humus in the soil, put more sand in the soil to just give it some room for the water to filtrate down, for roots to move around a little easier. And then cover it up with rough cut mulch. The landscape trimmer, a landscape trimmer came and dropped off for us. So that's something to think about in your neighborhood. If you see a regular landscape tree trimmer around your neighborhood, stop them, get their business card, give them contact them, and ask them if they'd be willing to dump a load there for you from time to time. Or if you live out in the country, actually the telephone system connected with whoever they're connected with should be able to do that for you. I have heard that some cities have ordinances against that, and that's something I'd be willing to negotiate in terms of ordinances, especially when you're a farmer. But anyways, that's something we definitely should be using to our benefit. Helps to keep a balance of bacteria and fungi in the soil, having both the heavy rich carbon mulch and then of course your nitrogen fixing and nitrogen plants, nitrogen that you're putting in the soil in different ways that you're doing that. All right, so that's what I've been doing today. We're also going to throw some of that azomite that we were given. Basically, it helps put some minerals, heavy minerals in your soil. Plants are depleting that. Excuse me, I'm all out of breath. My plants are depleting that very quickly, so we have to do our part to help add that back into the soil. But one of the best ways to do that is to have all different kinds of diverse plants. So if you kind of took a look around the garden over here, I've got a very diverse garden space. It's all about production, but it's also very diverse. There's all different kinds of plants out here. There's all different kinds of almost experiments to try out, well, how does this work with this, and stuff like that. And so as I learn things, yes, I get away from that, but or as I learn that I've different mistakes that I've made, I'll turn away from that and find new ways to do it. But that's what this is about. It's a learning garden. Speaking of learning, you guys have seen me talk about this for days now, weeks now. I lost my mountain laurel tree. It's finally come to its last. The hurricane knocked it down. We tried to pull it back up. We probably split the root on it. Then we fertilized and mulched it, which probably gave it a second to try to give it a try. Then I pulled everything away from it to try to keep its feet from being muddy. And then we moved it again, and so I just think that it was just too much. So mountain laurel trees are challenging to grow. They do take a long time, but I will see what I can do about building the center of that up now that it's gone, and putting one back up on top of it, but giving it more space to let runoff happen and more sand in the soil. So anyway, all right, be well, and I will see you all soon.